1 minute and 30 seconds. The water system that suppresses sound is now ready for release. Verification that our 3 primary engines are prepared for starting. A minute. The space shuttle is now powered internally. Liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen fill and drain valves are closed. Solid rocket booster flight data recorders are activated and the handoff to Atlantis's onboard computers. The countdown is now under Atlantis control. The firing chain is armed. The water system for sound suppression was turned on. T-10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0 and the Space Shuttle Atlantis is liftoff on its mission to construct resupplies and conduct research on the ISS. Now under Houston's command, Atlantis sets out on its penultimate mission to support the International Space Station. Roll. Atlanta. For its 8.5-minute journey into orbit, Atlantis is now in the correct alignment. 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the international outpost. 30 seconds into the flight, Atlantis almost 2 miles in altitude, almost 6 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, already traveling 500 m an hour. The shuttle is under less stress as it passes through the sound barrier because the 3 liquid fuel main engines are now throttling back to 72% of their rated performance going into the bucket. 55 seconds into the flight. All systems operating normally, 900 m an hour. Atlantis is currently traveling at a speed of 6 miles in altitude and 9 miles downrange. Go with the throttle up, Atlantis. Copy. Increase the throttle. The throttle up call acknowledged by Commander Charlie Hobb. Joined on the flight deck by pilot Butch Wilmore, Leland Melvin and Randy Bresnik, flight engineer. Seated down on the mid-deck are Mike Foreman and Bobby Satcher, kicking off their work week with a Monday commute to orbit. 1 minute and 30 seconds into the flight. Atlanta's 13 miles in altitude, 15 miles downrange, traveling almost 2,000 m/anf. 3 good auxiliary power units, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good main engines. 10 seconds remain until the solid rocket booster separates after 1 minute and 50 seconds of flight. Staging a strong rocket is confirmed by the booster officer. Booster separation. Guidance is now coming together. On the way to the International Space Station, Atlanta veered into the center lane of Highway 129. The flight is 2 minutes and 20 seconds in. 34 miles in altitude, 48 m downrange. Atlanta's speed is 3,200 meters per hour. The propulsion officer in mission control reports that the orbital maneuvering system engines have ignited. Atlantis kicking on the afterburners. Make a copy. 2 engines. Atlantis' 3 liquid fuel main engines are its only source of power, and it uses up roughly half a ton of fuel every second from its sizable fuel tank. At 3 minutes into the flight, Atlanta is traveling at nearly 4,000 meters per hour at an altitude of 46 miles and a downrange distance of 81 meters. On Wednesday morning, Atlanta and the International Space Station were traveling in a straight line toward their state. 3.5 minutes into the flight. Every system in Atlantis is operating according to the book. 55 miles high, 120 meters downrange, and nearly 5,000 meters per hour. Negative return, Atlantis. Copy Atlantis. A negative return. In the event of an engine failure, Atlantis is now too high in altitude and too far downrange to return to the launch site. Each of the 3 engines is operating flawlessly. 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the flight. Atlantis now 62 miles in altitude, 180 m downrange, traveling almost 6,000 m an hour. Every system is operating as it should. For its initial orbit, Atlantis is on course and on schedule. According to the Environmental Systems Officer, Atlantis's flash evaporator system is operational and cooling the shuttle's avionics until the payload bay doors are opened approximately an hour and a half into the flight. Press the ATO, Atlantis. Make a copy. Hit the ATO button. In the event of an engine failure, Atlantis can now make minimal orbital altitude targets, according to Capcom Chris Ferguson's call. All 3 engines, however, as well as the 3 power-producing fuel cells and auxiliary power units, are still operating normally. 5.5 minutes into the flight. Atlantis is now traveling at nearly 8,000 miles per hour, 67 miles high, and 312 meters downrange. A unique single-engine option is now starting to roll into a heads-up position. As the shuttle moves uphill, the main engine swiveling allows it to move to a heads-up position above its fuel tank, improving communications through the tracking and data relay satellite system. Zaragoza 104 single engine, Atlantis Presto MECO 104 single engineer. In the event of an engine failure, Atlantis can make standard orbital cutoff targets, according to a call made by Capcom Chris Ferguson to Commander Charlie Hoba. Proceed with the pitch. Alright, nominal shutdown. Choose +X. Proceed with the pitch. The flight is now 6 minutes and 45 seconds in. Atlant travels at a speed of nearly 11,000 meters per hour at an altitude of 66 miles, nearly 500 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center. There are 90 seconds remaining in powered flight. Press 104 on a single engine. Breath 104 for a single engine. Coming up on the 7 and 1/2 minute mark into the flight. To keep the stress on the shuttle and its 6 crew members to 3 times the effect of gravity, the main engines will once more be throttled down. Atlant is getting closer at a speed of over 4 miles per second. Atlant will enter its initial orbit at a speed of 5 miles per second when the main engine cuts off in 1 minute. 7 minutes 40 seconds into the flight. 8 minutes and 10 seconds into the flight, Atlant is providing. Waiting for the main engine to shut off. The booster officer verified the main engine cutoff. Standing by for external tank separation. And the aerial view of the external tank separation captured by the external tank camera. Atlantis now in its preliminary orbit. Atlantis will now be maneuvered by Commander Charlie Hoba to allow cameras installed in the shuttle's umbilical well to take pictures of the abandoned external fuel tank. In a few hours, Mike Foreman and Leland Melvin will use digital still and video cameras to take handheld pictures of the tank for downlink. The shuttle Atlantis and its 6 crew members, who are currently en route to the International Space Station, had a perfect ascent to orbit. 𝐂𝐞𝐥𝐞𝐬, we'll see you in the post. Hey, feel free.